Power 88, the People Station. And you got the Ohio players in the background. It's going down. The Funky Worm is coming at you. I'm going to let you know something right now that we got the one and only Mr. Dr. Turk Logan. The man that brought you so many songs from the city of Dayton, Ohio. He broke a lot of records, 161 gold and platinum albums to his credit. And this is one of them that you're listening to right now, the Funky Worm in the background. Turk Logan, are you still with us?
I'm still here.
Let me tell you, we had the general manager of the station. I had to give him a call. I said, listen, we're getting so much good information from Mr. Logan. Are we allowed to take this thing just a little bit further and go over just a little bit? And he said, yeah, you know, go right ahead. It's good stuff. So I want to thank Mr. Craig Knight, our general manager, for allowing me to do that and continue to bring the public this great information you're bringing us about these groups. Now, we are all the way up to the top #1 song that you picked. With the #1 song that you released, that you said that you broke for the world, was Fire by the Ohio Players. Now give us a little bit of information on what the Players did with you.
Well, I was close to 2 of the members on a regular basis of the Ohio Players. One was Satch, your uncle, and the other was Marshall Jones, who was the bass player. So 2 real quick stories. Satch used to come down on Friday and pick me up in that Lamborghini that he drove. and everybody in the station would be standing looking out the window as we would drive off, going to Cincinnati. Now, Billy D. Williams had just finished Lady Sings the Blues, and we had met up with him at the Playboy Club in Cincinnati. And when we walked in, of course, they didn't know me from Adam, but they all knew Billy D and they all knew Satch. And I thought I was in Las Vegas because many of the girls didn't have much clothes on in the first place, and what they had on, they started taking off.
Oh, man.
We had the greatest time. Satch was a great guy. He was so talented. He was one of the creators of the group. He constantly was creating. I had been in the studio with them dozens of times on many of the big hits that they had, and it was just a natural thing to drive down to Cincinnati and be in the studio with the Ohio Players when they were recording, and then, you know, we would go out and party. Marshall Jones, who lived right outside of Xenia, only about 10 minutes away, I could leave the station in the evening and ride out to his house, and the 2 of us would grab a beer and sit on the back porch. And a quick, funny story with him is he had a little terrier, the kind that looked like they wore tuxedos. And Marshall's girlfriend came in from Florida, and the terrier, Marshall let the terrier out, and he wasn't on a chain, and he got into an argument with a skunk. And so the skunk sprayed him. This is a true story. The skunk sprayed the terrier, and the dog come yelping back to the house. And Marshall opened the door and let the dog in, and he jumped right in the young lady's lap. She started screaming and hollering and turned red.
Oh, God.
I went back home and never came back.
I can imagine Marshall, man. Or Marshall or something else. But listen, you know what? I just told you a few minutes ago, I got DJ Slim sitting right here, and he is waiting. He is waiting for the story that he is here for is for one of the other members of the Ohio Players. And one of the greatest members of the Ohio Players, the one that left. Well, he's doing this song in the background right now, Funky Worm, but he left and went to do so many songs for George Clinton, Knee Deep, Aqua Boogie, One Nation Under a Groove. Junie Morrison is the dude that really was 100% with the whole production thing with the Ohio Players. You ended up managing him at one point. How did that come about, and what was it like working with Junie?
Junie and I went to high school together. I was 1 grade ahead of him. And the music teacher's name was Mr. Spencer at Roosevelt. And you would go by in the hall, the music room, and hear Junie singing a cappella and hitting all these high notes like females do. And it was just amazing, and he knew he was going to be very, very talented and with somebody. Well, he ended up with the Ohio Players, and he and I maintained our closeness throughout the tenure when he was in Dayton before he left. There's one sad note about Junie, and you can let a lot of people don't know. Junie was coming back from a gig in Columbus. He was in the passenger seat, and the van driver went to sleep at the wheel, and they had a head-on collision, and Junie went through the windshield, and both of his legs were severed at the knees. He was laying in the highway with both. They picked him up, put his legs on ice, and took him to the hospital and sewed both of his legs back on. And that's a true story.
Yeah.
Junie was one of the most talented, genius musicians. I mean, like you said, he could play all the instruments. And one evening on Friday night again, because on Friday night I spent most of my time with the musicians, me, Junie, and George Clinton were together at Junie's house in the basement. And the two of these guys got to performing, just kicking it. I mean, they were just playing around and coming up with songs, and it was amazing. And then that Saturday, I would pick Junie up and drive him out to Hare Arena. He would walk in, he would wear tux, tails, jeans, a pair of gym shoes, and he would walk in with Parliament and Funkadelic on stage and raise his hands, and everybody would start. You know, and I'll tell the story. I've been with Sly Stone and emceed 4 shows over the 40-year period with Sly Stone, Sly the Family Stone, when he was playing with Parliament and Funkadelic, and I've never seen him perform. He never came out the dressing room. He never came out the dressing room.
I heard those stories too.
You know, Parliament Funkadelic was George Clinton, and George Clinton let Junie have his way because he knew how talented Junie was. And Junie was the director of Parliament Funkadelic.
He was.
And it was just amazing because Junie was most of the time in a different world that related to music. And if you were in that world with Junie, we used to, when we were doing one of the albums, it might have been Buckets of Ducats or Rapping About Rapping, when we were doing one of the songs, we were auditioning female artists for the background. Mm-hmm. And women would come over to his house, and we call them the soul chickens because they're like, they couldn't sing, man.
Nobody.
And that's just the, and then there were 3 young ladies that came over named the Allman Sisters.
The Allman Sisters, wow.
And these girls, when they opened up, it was Valeria, Teresa, and Gwen, 3 sisters.
They were bad.
And when these sisters started singing, you thought you was in church, man. And they recorded with him, and they also sang the Heat Wave. I was able to get them to go on the road with Johnny Wilder for a time, and he took them over to London, England. So, you know, it was just a time in history that today is people are still talking about, and it hasn't been recognized as it should in Dayton, Ohio. And this is why it's so important for you guys to get the story out there in Las Vegas, some 3,000 plus miles away, because Dayton, Ohio still ain't figured it out yet. You know, and it's been 45 years. It's
been 45 years. It has been.
And they still ain't figured it out yet. And you know, when they decide to do stories, like when Marshall passed away or when Sugar passed away, and they decide to do a story, they'll call me and they'll get it all screwed up, man. They'll have Marshall looking like Sugar, and they'll have Junie looking like Billy Beck. You know, and I have to step in and say, wait a minute, guys, come on, why don't you? And they'll publish this stuff, you know,
right.
And you know, and these are black people doing the stories and still getting it twisted all around.
Exactly.
They just ain't figured it out yet, God bless them. And I don't know if they ever will. Like I said, it's been 45 years. They're, like you said, one of your cameramen, but there is a story that goes into detail with all the group that I have written. It's called The Dayton Sound. It's a pleasant story. It's a interesting story. It's like a Motown type story, but it goes into depth, and it tells us about all the times when the players left. They were so excited. They were going to Hollywood to perform, and they got on the bus. All of them got on the bus, and they got the bus driver, and all of them got on the bus, and they went to Hollywood. They were in Florida. You know, so when they got down to Hollywood, Florida, they figured out they were in the wrong part of the country, and so they turned around. They turned around and had to come all the way back through Ohio.
Oh my God.
Hollywood, California till Sunday. And of course, the game was Saturday. And those are little cute stories that only I can tell because I lived it. Because when the Ohio players were the Ohio Untouchables, I was a teenager, and they played at a club called the Oakley Club in Germantown, Ohio.
I remember.
And one of the things they used to do is they opened up with a group called the Powder Puff Review. And so we're talking about transgenders and gays and everything today. This was back in the 60s. And so the Powder Puff Review would dance with pythons and frilly things, and they would open up for the Ohio Untouchable. And I'll never forget, I guess I was about 17. I'm sitting at the bar, and this beautiful woman was sitting beside me, but she had her back to me. And she had hair all the way down her back, and I said, man, I'm going to get to know this woman. So I told the bartender to buy her a drink, and he bought her a drink, and she turned around to thank me, and it was a man. And I said, oh,
okay, on that note, hey man, you didn't have to go there, man.
well,
That's hilarious.
I said, I need to be at home. I need to take my rear home, but I came on back home, man.
Oh my God.
That was before the Ohio players became the Ohio players. They were Ohio Untouchables then.
Yes, sir.
We've had a great history with them, and I want to thank you for the opportunity and your management staff, and this has been great, man. Thank you.
Well, we thank you, Dr. Logan. We appreciate you, man, calling in 161 gold and platinum albums. This young man has turned my city, Dayton, Ohio, into the metropolis of music that it is, man, just being in WDAO. We thank you again for calling in, and we're going to get into your #1 song in just a few minutes, but we want to make sure that everyone knows, keep it locked. We got a lovely evening with Lena Love coming up in just a few minutes. And if you give me a call right now, 702-647-3688, I got a pair of tickets for you to go to the I Love the 90s concert tomorrow night. I'm sorry, Saturday night. Right now, all you got to do is give me a call, 702-647-3688. Dr. Logan, we thank you once again, and we will want to talk to you sometime in the near future again, I'm sure, my brother. I appreciate you.
Hey, man, thanks a lot, and good luck to your radio station. You sound great.
All right, God bless you. We appreciate you. We talk to you soon, all right? Here's Dr. Logan's #1 song. Out of all the songs he released, this is the #1 song. It's Fire with the Ohio Players right here on the People's Station, Power 88.